Steve Siebold back with mentaltoughnessblog.com. It seems like everyone hates rich people. But here's the bottom line. Whether you hate them or not, rich people rule the world. Now, I'm not saying this is necessarily a good thing. I'm just saying that's the reality. Vladimir Putin. I can give a lot of examples there. Vladimir Putin is literally one of the most powerful and maybe the richest man in the world. He's an example. He has influence all over the world. President of the United States, Donald Trump. Do you think Donald Trump would have been president if he wasn't rich? Most likely not, but he is president right now, and it's because he's rich, most likely, for the most part. In other words, if he was a poor person or a middle-class person, he probably wouldn't be there, whether you like him or not, or you're in favor of him or not. And the examples go on and on. So here's my recommendation. Even if you hate rich people and you think they have unfair advantages, which in some cases they do, teach them that rich people, good or bad, rule the world. Don't teach them that the middle class runs the world. This is what the masses tend to do. They teach them that love makes the world go round and the average person has just as much say as the richest person. That would be wonderful, wouldn't it? The world would be a better place if the middle class, if the average person had just as much to say and had just as much influence as the wealthy. It'd be a better world. There's no question about it. But they don't, and they never will. Money will always rule the world. Rich people that have the money will do it. Since the shutdown, the COVID-19 shutdown, the rich have become far, far richer. The middle class has become poorer. So the power shift is increasingly expanding, and it will continue to do so. I'm not saying this is a good thing. I'm saying teach your kids this, because if you teach your kids the realities of life and the realities of the world, they have a much better chance at succeeding. That's why a couple years ago, I wrote this book, Secret Self-Made Millionaires Teach Their Kids. People say, well, what made you write this book? The reason I wrote it is because for 36 years, I've been interviewing the self-made rich. And one of the questions I asked every one of them was, what do you say to your kids? What do you teach your kids, especially about success and money, that the average person does not? And they told me, and I put it in this book. And one of the things they shared with me were the realities of life that people don't like to address. And one is that rich people rule the world. So if you want to have power and advantages and opportunities that most people have, you're going to have to be wealthy. Is it fair? No, but it's life. Life is not fair. It's like the old saying, love makes the world go round. No, that's not true. Yes, it would be a better world if it did, but it doesn't. And it probably never will. You know what makes the world go round? Money. The history of the world is war. That's reality. That's not an opinion. That's just what it is. You can track human history from war to war to war, most of which has been over money and power. Not an uplifting message, not a great thing. But if you teach your kids these realities and then send them out into the world, they have a far better chance. This is why the kids of millionaires, I have so many friends, literally thousands that are self-made millionaires. I spent my whole adult life with these people. And their kids oftentimes become self-made millionaires themselves in their 20s. Usually by their 30s, they're multimillionaires. And people say, how is that possible? Because their parents gave them the money? Oh no, that is usually not the case. Sometimes, but not usually. What it is they teach them the way the world really works, especially around success and money. Not the fantasy world, not what they learn in school, not what they learn in college from their liberal college professors. Nothing wrong with liberal college professors, but I learned a lot from those people, but not about success. Okay, we're talking about the realities, the hard, cold realities of living life and the world. Teach your kids these things. They're going to learn them the hard way if you don't teach them, and it's going to take them till they're 45 to really get it, and they'll struggle with money their whole lives if they don't. I'm going to do a flat-out promotion because I already did the research. Just get this book. Go on Amazon and get this book. The link is in the text. Get the book so you don't have to do the research. I will tell you, 36 years of data proves that this is what they teach. You won't like everything you read in the book, I promise you. People got mad. It made the cover of Money Magazine the first month it was out, and it became a bestseller because of that. And a lot of people were very upset 'cause they said, oh my God, you're saying all these things like the world is a brutal and beautiful place. You don't think the world's a brutal place? You got to be kidding. And I make the case that they made to me during the interviews. These are not my opinions. These are the opinions of over 1,200 self-made millionaires across the world. See, all the research has already been done. Here's what I recommend. If you have kids, this is what I recommend you do. Get the book, study the book, and read it with your kids. There's a workbook, and you get it in the link is on. That's a free workbook. It's in the book. Get the workbook and fill it out with your kids. People do it all over the world with this book, and teach them these things. That way, when they go out there, they're street smart. They're not just smart. They're not just school smart. They're street smart, and there's a difference between being street smart and book smart. You want both. You want them to have both, of course. But if they're book smart, I don't care if they went to Harvard or Yale, and they get out in the street with tough business people, they'll eat their lunch. I don't care if it's an 8th grade dropout. They'll eat their lunch because they're street smart. They know the way the world really works as opposed to the fantasy world that we're often presented to as children and teenagers and young adults. So study the topic, teach your kids, and give them a leg up. Thanks for watching the blog. See you next time.